way we looked at Uplift was to ensure that we are able to build the key strategic focus area for us, which is on managerial skills and leadership skills. That's a key focus area for UPL because we truly believe that at the end of the day, the organization's success is powered by our people. And for that, you need to ensure that the managers and the leaders are equipped with the necessary skills to help them to guide their teams accordingly. With that in mind, we looked at a program that would help us achieve this at scale. As you may be aware, we are a largely distributed organization. We have our our employees in over 80 countries across various regions, various languages, various time zones. So having it done in any other way would not have been an easy task. What we liked about the offerings of the Uplift program or the offerings that came in through the Skillsoft was an opportunity to leverage AI to build that experience, that tailored experience for individuals to help them dive deep on the areas they want and kind of assess themselves on an ongoing basis and calibrate their journeys. So the entire part of helping our employees, our managers build the necessary skill set powered by AI uh, was really the key decision factor in this entire program. As we moved into the managers, we kind of looked at how do you start a lot more of giving constructive feedback, planning for your business, understanding the business fundamentals, understanding finance fundamentals, focusing a lot more on building peer relationships because at that stage you're also looking at working across departments to solve for things for your team. How do you kind of work through some of those? How do you build on elements of customer centricity, understanding the landscape that the organization operates in, much beyond your own function? Because when you start becoming a manager of managers and you're kind of leading work for a team, you need to start being able to appreciate your upstream and downstream processes and build that understanding to help you take the right decisions and steer the right conversations. So a part of this was what we looked at for the Uplift managers, and this was addressed in two parts. One was from the content that we got through Skillsoft, which is self-paced e-learning modules, um, the AI role plays, Casey, the skill benchmarks, and so on. The second part, we supplemented this learning through sessions led by our internal leaders, which talked a lot about the UPL landscape. For managers, it was a lot focused on the region that they were operating, the business that they were operating. So that knowledge that they got was very contextual to the work that they were doing, the closest area that they would need to get an understanding of. That was how we planned for Uplift managers. For leaders, the focus was more about how do you build strategy? How do you kind of look at the larger lens and consider those aspects when you're steering the direction of the organization? So most of the people in the leaders were heads of region heads of a particular function or heads of a function, holding roles that were larger, that had some amount of business responsibility or larger amounts of business responsibility, and they were handling much larger teams. So a lot of focus here was on building the strategic understanding, focus on execution excellence, building the larger capacity of the team, structuring the team for delivery of the strategic initiatives, building customer focus, and so on and so forth. So here again, we had a two-pronged approach. One was the content that we got from Skillsoft, and all of this content was from the MIT Sloan, based on the MIT Sloan research. So we got that content. So here again, we supplemented the program with a lot of leaders speak, as we called it, which is our senior leaders coming and talking to the participants about UPL strategy, our frameworks, our regulations, our belief, our understanding of how we want to drive excellence in various areas of work. So they were learning the theory through the program, the content through Skillsoft, and we're also getting it supplemented by the UPL examples, the UPL leaders sharing the perspectives and case studies with them. We leveraged the content that was there, the self-paced learning content, which is of course the core of the module, which is powered by research from MIT Sloan. We also leveraged the AI simulators, which Skillsoft calls Casey, and the skill benchmarks. These were the main components that we leveraged out of Skillsoft offerings. And this is what we've heard as feedback from the participants. Uh, More than 95% said that the contents, the topics that were covered as a part of the program were very relevant to them in their current career stage. Over 86% said that the online modules were very comprehensive. Over 81% agreed that the AI simulators helped them practice the skills in various scenarios. And over 90% felt that the program would help them become a more effective leader. And some of the aspects that they have taken away that on areas that they're going to implement immediately are the art of feedback, managing change, and team building. And they want to continue sharpening their skills on emotional intelligence and building teams. The core of it was the learning, the research material, the learning content, the self-paced modules, which are a part of our SLDP offering that Skillsoft has. Right, so that was the core. The most impactful were really the skill benchmarks because it allowed the participants to really look in the mirror and see how they rank on some of the skills that are important to them and what are the areas that they need to be working more on. So that was one part. The second part was the AI simulators. The AI simulators enable the participants to role play in a safe environment, right? Role play as many times as they needed in various situations, scenarios that they could practice the skills on. In fact, we've had a couple of them come back to us and say, "Hey, before practicing, before entering into a conversation, I did pick this up and practice a skill to say how do I handle a difficult conversation, how do I handle a difficult customer." So they are taking some of that practice even beyond the program to prepare for certain interactions or discussions that are coming up. So these two, the entire part of the interactivity and the customization of the program to the individual has really been the difference that the Skillsoft content has made to this program.